Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen.
You can listen to the noise of the elevated train. That's not going to be here after noon. And I think that's the message that people have to start understanding. That starting at noon today, which is in only 2.5 hours, mass transit is not going to be available if you have to leave. You have to start right now. Now, we've heard that lots of people are leaving, and that's great. And we're joined here by some people who can help us get the message out. We have Council Member Dominic Recchia, Council Member Mike Nelson, State Assembly Member Alec Burkowski, Congressman Jerry Nadler, and Borough President Marty Markowitz, of course, is here. We can't come to Coney Island without Marty being here. And I did want to thank Inspector Peter de Blasio, the commanding officer of the 60th Precinct, for hosting us today. The hurricane has hit ground in North Carolina. New York City is under hurricane warning. We expect a strong Category 1 storm to hit us tonight with winds between 55 and 75 miles an hour. Now, people get confused and say, oh, that's down from 115. The great danger to us here is from the storm surge. And there's no evidence that that the forecast for that is changing. It is going to be a very serious thing as far as we can tell now. If the storm were to head directly east and get away from us, nothing could make us happier. But you can't prepare for the best case. You have to prepare for the worst case. And that's why yesterday we issued a mandatory evacuation order for the more than 370,000 New Yorkers residing in the low-lying areas called Zone A areas, and in the rest of the Rockaways, which is classified as Zone B. The difference with Zone B and Zone A, Zone B is higher, but the Rockaways are a special case because if the bridges get closed, there's no ways off the island, and it would be very difficult for us to provide emergency services. The steady stream of New Yorkers leaving these areas have been coming into some of the 91 evacuation and emergency service shelter facilities we've set up throughout the city. We have a capacity for something like 70,000 people. Having said that, capacity is a little bit misleading. We do not have beds for 70,000 people, but we'll make do with whatever we can. To ensure security and safety, we've increased the police protection throughout the evacuation zone. We also have 10 teams of firefighters, 2 in each borough, using school buses to help evacuate homebound elderly and nursing home patients. And we still have a few hospitals and nursing homes and adult care facilities in Zone A and the Rockaways to go. But some 7,000 patients and residents have already been evacuated. And I just wanted to point out that the management of those facilities, the senior homes, the nursing homes, and the hospitals, have been phenomenally cooperative. It has gone so smoothly. They all deserve a lot of credit. Hopefully this will have been for naught, but we cannot take risks, and particularly with the most vulnerable. We wanted to do those first, and that's basically been accomplished. We do not, incidentally, recommend that anyone waits for a bus to evacuate. The best thing to do is to use your own or public transportation to get yourself to a shelter, and that means you've got to do that right now. 2.5 hours left for mass transit. City employees, if you volunteered to help serve in the shelters today, we need you to report to your sites now. It is going to be very difficult to get to or from these sites, and when people show up, you really are going to make a difference. So those of you city employees who volunteered, thank you so much for doing so, but we just do need you to start making that trip. Bring some stuff with you if you have to stay for a while, but you really are going to make a difference for those in this city who aren't as fortunate as the rest of us. The NYPD is also sending vehicles with sound equipment throughout the area to broadcast the message that this is a dangerous hurricane that is approaching and residents must evacuate to safety. They will be doing that all afternoon into the evening, but keep in mind if you want to evacuate later on, you're going to be on your own. You'll have to walk, or you're going to have to find some ways to use a car or a taxi. For those residents of the Rockaways and low-lying areas of Zone A who have not yet left, I want you to take a look at the pictures which the press just took of these small boats. You've probably seen boats like this before. There's lots of news footage after Hurricane Katrina that was certainly full of images of these boats and the emergency responders that rode through the flooded streets rescuing